Have you ever looked into the eyes of someone and felt unseen? A narcissist does not see you. They see a mirror, not a soul, not a being, just a reflection of their hunger. When they smile, it is not warmth. It is calculation. When they praise, it is not appreciation. It is manipulation. You think they value you. No, they value how you make them feel important, superior, invincible. The moment you stop feeding that illusion, you become disposable. What's most shocking is not their cruelty, it is their emptiness. Your pain does not stir their compassion, it fuels their control. They watch your tears like a king watches a defeated soldier. Power, not connection. They secretly envy your light, that joy you carry, the strength to love, the ability to be real. This terrifies them, and so they mock it, because deep down they know you have something they can never own. Remember this. What they call love is only a leash, and the moment you awaken, their spell is broken. You are not a mirror, you are the light itself. A narcissist does not truly see you, they see what you reflect. You become a mirror, not a human being. You are not met as a life, as a presence, as a soul, but as a surface upon which they can project their fantasies. If you reflect admiration, they keep you close. If you reflect doubt, they turn cold. Your value to them shifts like shadows on the wall, not based on your truth, but on the illusion they wish to maintain. They do not seek to know you, they seek to use you to know more of themselves, or rather, the story they've invented. Their entire life is built like a house of smoke, held together by how others perceive them. So if you show them honesty, they call it disrespect. If you show them boundaries, they call it betrayal, because in their world, you don't exist as you. You only exist to echo what they want to hear. This is not love, this is not connection, this is performance. And the moment you stop playing your role in their theater, the curtain falls, and they vanish, not because you changed, but because you were never seen to begin with. In the eyes of a narcissist, your worth is never measured by the depth of your being. It is measured by how well you serve their sense of importance. You could be kind, brilliant, full of life, but none of that matters unless it feeds their ego. You become valuable only when you affirm the story they tell themselves. The moment you stop nodding, the moment your light starts to shine in its own direction, they begin to retreat or retaliate. They do not see the sacredness of your journey. They see a tool, a trophy, a means to an end. It is not your essence they admire. It is your ability to elevate their image, to validate their narrative. And if you dare to step into your truth, to speak with your own voice, they feel threatened, not because you hurt them, but because you stop making them feel superior. You are not loved for who you are used for what you provide. The moment you outgrow their expectations, you are no longer convenient, and they will twist the story to make you the villain. But let this be clear, their rejection is not your failure. It is your liberation, because your value was never meant to be determined by someone who cannot see beyond their own reflection. It may be hard to accept, but your pain, yes, even your suffering, can become nourishment for a narcissist. They do not recoil from your wounds. Sometimes they study them with fascination, not out of compassion, but out of a strange validation. Your tears confirm their influence. Your confusion confirms their control. It is not empathy they feel, it is triumph. They provoke, they prod, they twist words like threads in a web. And when you finally break, when your voice shakes or your silence screams, they feel powerful. Because in that moment, you are no longer centered, no longer calm, and they believe they have shaped your reality. What kind of love rejoices in your collapse? That is not love, that is possession. You must understand, to a narcissist, your reactions are like trophies. If they can ignite anger in you, or sadness, or desperation, they feel significant. Not because they connected with your soul, but because they interrupted your peace. That is the game, and once you see the game, you no longer have to play. True strength is not in retaliation, it is in refusal, the refusal to be manipulated, the refusal to let someone else author your emotions. You are not their puppet, you are not their experiment, you are a sovereign being. And when your pain no longer entertains them, they vanish, because control was all they ever truly sought. There is a strange contradiction within the narcissist. one they will never confess, but you will feel. They secretly admire you. Yes, the same qualities they mock, diminish, or try to erase are often the very things they envy. Your calm presence, your ability to feel deeply, to care without an agenda, to shine without shouting, these are things they do not understand, yet desperately crave. But instead of honoring what they lack, they attack it. They belittle what they cannot embody. Like a child breaking a toy they cannot figure out, they attempt to damage what exposes their inadequacy. So when they mock your kindness, it is because they wish they could feel so freely. When they scoff at your humility, it is because they are drowning in pride. Your grace threatens their mask, and so they try to smear it. This is not your flaw, this is their shadow, the part of them they refuse to face, and instead of turning inward and transforming, they choose to project it outward and destroy. But remember this, what they despise in you is often the most sacred part of your being. Do not dim it to keep their comfort intact. Do not shrink so they can feel tall. The flame of your spirit was not lit to ease someone else's darkness. It was lit to remind the world that light exists, even in the presence of those who fear it. For all their outward confidence, a narcissist lives with a deep and gnawing fear, the fear of being seen, not admired, not praised, but truly seen. Because beneath the polished surface, the image, the performance, there is a hollowness they are terrified to confront. And so they spend their life weaving illusions, perfect masks, grand stories, false strength, anything to keep the truth buried. They do not seek connection, they seek protection from exposure. The closer you get to their core, the more threatened they feel, not because you will hurt them, but because you might witness what they have spent years hiding: insecurity, emptiness, self-doubt. So they push you away with coldness, silence, or sudden rage, not because you are wrong, but because you are getting too close to what is real. And this is why intimacy with a narcissist is a mirage. The moment you reach for something genuine, it slips away. The moment you ask for honesty, they retreat into defense. They cannot risk being seen without their mask, because in their mind, being seen is the same as being shamed. But this is not your burden to carry. It is not your task to peel their layers, to fix what they hide, to convince them of their worth. That journey is theirs, and most will never take it. Your role is not to be a savior to someone who fears salvation. It is to honor your own clarity, to stand in your truth, and to never confuse secrecy with depth. What hides from light is not sacred, it is simply afraid. When a narcissist says, "I love you," it is not love in the way you understand it. It is not an offering, it is a claim. It is not an embrace, it is a leash. What they call love is not a meeting of souls, but a declaration of possession. You become an object in their collection, something they believe they own, something that must stay small so they can feel large. They are not drawn to your being, they are drawn to the power they feel when you orbit around them. Your attention becomes their oxygen, your devotion their disguise, and the moment you begin to awaken, to ask questions, to rise into your own light, the illusion shatters. Because true love celebrates your growth. But to a narcissist, your growth is a threat. They do not want a partner, they want a subject. They fear your independence, they fear your inner strength. They fear the day you look at them and see clearly. Because that is the day the spell breaks, the day you stop confusing manipulation for passion, control for care, and obsession for intimacy. But the beauty is, when you wake up, you don't just walk away from them. You return to yourself. You remember that love is not meant to shrink you, it is meant to free you, and once you taste that freedom, no false love will ever seduce you again. So now you see, what a narcissist thinks of you is not really about you. It is about their hunger, their fear, their illusion. You are never truly seen, only used as a mirror, a fuel, a mask for their own emptiness, and while that may sound cruel, it is also liberating, because the pain they caused is not a reflection of your worth, it is a reflection of their wound. The truth is, you are not here to serve someone else's ego. You are not here to shrink so someone can feel tall beside you. You are here to live fully, to love freely, and to stand in the power of your own awareness. And once you awaken, truly awaken, you don't need revenge, you don't need to prove anything. You simply walk away, not with bitterness, but with clarity. not with hate but with truth, because real power is not in control over others. Real power is in knowing who you are and refusing to be less than that for anyone. You are not a mirror, you are not a pawn, you are a presence, a light, a force of life itself, and no narcissist can ever touch that.